The railway has a base set under the trees, where a CEGB electric loco awaits restoration. This part of the line is no longer in use, although locomotives have to run down here for water. The unique North British diesel hydraulic shunter Coronation visited Foxfield to collect another unique preserved item, the ex-Great Western dynamometer car. The gradient out of Foxfield through the fields is the steepest on any preserved line, and even the diesel has to work hard. The railway's headquarters is at the other end of the line, in a purpose-built terminus named, in true light railway style, Blythe Bridge Caverswall Road. This is situated halfway between the villages of Blythe Bridge and Caverswall. The railway has a number of interesting wagons and vans, including this Great Western Toad, seen in the bay platform. The hydraulic shunter is a unique preservation item, having been built in 1947 in Glasgow. Here it is engaged in shunting the railway's unique observation coach, equipped with a bar, out of the main running platform. A number of industrial tanks are seen outside the locomotive shed, including Howardine, a Bagnall 040 saddle tank built in 1940. Behind her will be seen a visitor to the railway, a CEGB shunter. The railway was connected to BR at Blythe Bridge, where there were exchange sidings. A very steep gradient leads up from these sidings alongside the terminus at Blythe Bridge. From the connecting line, we see two engines running round in the station yard. The engine coming up the bank is another visitor to the line, the Telford Horsehay Steam Trust's Sentinel Shunter. These visits were made in connection with the Foxfield's 21st anniversary celebrations, held over the weekend of the 30th and 31st of July, 1988. During the weekend, staff dressed in Victorian period costume, and the Sentinel ran up and down the XBR connecting line at irregular intervals. The locomotive was built in 1952 by the Sentinel Locomotive Company to their well-known vertical boiler design with chain drive. Third visitor was the King from Shackeston on the Market Bosworth Light Railway, now known as the Battlefield Line. Here we see her heading away from the terminus with the Sentinel's line to our left. The Sentinel then ran back down the gradient as the passenger train departed up the Foxfield Railway. The line crosses one minor road at the foot of the steepest part of the climb towards Foxfield. This is the Caverswalter Dilholm Road and is protected by gates. These are replacements for some wooden gates which were destroyed in a runaway accident some while ago, fortunately without injury to anyone. With the gates closed to the road, the signal is set for the train. Coming round the curve, down gradient towards Blythe Bridge, are two of the line's resident locomotives, Howardine and Whiston. As the train passes, the observation bar coach is seen to advantage. This serves beer from the Bass Brewery, who have recently signed a sponsorship deal with the railway. Coming uphill from the crossing is the steepest part of the climb, as trains fight for adhesion on the reverse curves. However, double-headers do not have such problems. A quarter of a mile or so further up the line, the track snakes around a narrow valley. With Whiston now leading Howardine, the rural nature of the railway is seen with its narrow clearances. The line describes an S on the map as it continues its climb up through the Staffordshire Hills. The leading engine here is Wimbledon, a 1956-built Hunslet tank of the austerity type. The second engine is the CEGB 040 saddle tank No. 1 from Castle Donington. This was the first time the engine had left the power station since it went into service. It is not preserved, being probably one of the last two working steam engines in the country, with its sister No. 2. After the S-curve, the line makes a final short climb before a half-mile straight section across the fields, away from all roads. Through the vegetation we see Lewisham, the ex-British sugar locomotive built by Bagnall in 1927. She is an 060 saddle tank, and was working downhill ahead of the King, the battlefield line visitor previously seen. This is a Barrows 040 well tank built in 1906, and they are heading a train containing the Great Western dynamometer car. This, with its self-contained power plant, was in use as a passenger carrying coach over the weekend, and is complete with all its instrumentation for visitors to see. The railway's northern passenger terminus is now at Dilholme Park, some 2 3/4 miles from Blythe Bridge. There is no road access to the platform. The track layout consists of a run-round loop together with a siding, which used to be a branch off the Foxfield line. During the 21st birthday weekend, locomotives were changed at the platform, the relieved engines going further along the line to Foxfield for water. Whiston is another Hunswick locomotive, this one being built in 1950. She is from Bold Colliery at St Helens in Lancashire, and, like Wimblebury, is not strictly an austerity, although built to the same design as the MOD engines. At the other end of the loop, we look past the siding towards Foxfield, where we see the CEGB loco climbing back to Dilholme Park. It's possible this engine may remain on the Foxfield Railway, and thus become preserved.